Let's kick things off with our first bout of the evening. 3 rounds in the amateur middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner. Please welcome Angel Mendez.
We're starting out in the 165-pound division, a division that I really enjoy watching because they've got that combination of speed. They're still at a light enough weight to do that. Let's go back to Big Mo for this quick.
On 104th blue corner, please welcome Placido Montoya.
Getting back to what I was saying, JR, that perfect combination of size and speed. Still powerful enough to do that one-hit knockout, but fast enough and conditioned enough to fight a 5 to 10 round fight.
However, I don't think we have any fights going 10 rounds this evening.
Probably not. This is in the elimination division, so I think we got 3 2-minute rounds for these fights, right, JR?
Yes, sir. And we'll let folks that are joining us this evening for boxing know we'd love to have you back tomorrow night for our King of Sparta heavyweight tournament. Started off with boxing. Whoever wins in the boxing round advances to kickboxing. Whoever wins that goes to the finals for MMA. Let's take it back up to Big Mo.
Our opening bout of the evening is brought to you by Old Glory Energy Drink. Let's meet our fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, from Denver, Colorado, representing House of Pain, Angel Mendez. His opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Nissan on 104th blue corner, from Thornton, Colorado, representing Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing, Chief Placido Montoya.
Okay, gentlemen, come here. I don't want to see anything below here, nothing below there, nothing behind the head. Any questions? Let's touch them up. Let's take care of business. Let's go.
Referee Stephen Balea explains what's going to be considered a low blow, what's not. Otherwise, the gentlemen know the rules. Here we go. Black and green trunks for Angel Mendez facing off against Placido Montoya wearing the black and red. And, hey, let's take a timeout. All right, here we go.
And we're at it.
We are off with punchy time. You talked about it in this 165-pound division. Still light enough that there's no plodding footwork, and the guys are still really fast. You can see that. These guys light on their feet early.
Yeah, and it's always an interesting matchup when you've got a southpaw versus an orthodox fighter. Big right hand already by Mendez, who listed himself as a counterpuncher, but has definitely been the aggressor thus far in the beginning of the fight, really trying to feel out that jab and came with a big right hand.
And Montoya wanting to get some of that back. Interestingly enough, in Montoya's warm-up video, he had his mouth open, and his mouthpiece was almost falling out during the video. I wonder if that's a habit of his. I'm actually kind of interested to watch and see if that's something that happens with him.
And Mendez doing a very good job of keeping his chin down but his eyes straight forward, looking at his opponent's chest. He sees every move that his opponent makes, and you can see why he's a counterpuncher. Even when he's backing up, his eyes are still forward. He's looking to land that right hand.
A little bit more of a bladed stance for Mendez, taking away some of the targets. Of course, that means your rear hand is also farther away from being able to land on your opponent.
Some good inside dirty boxing by Montoya there, too. Landed a couple of decent body shots. He's going to have to get some rangy punches working, though. He needs to get some jabs and his crosses working to get inside. Otherwise, he's going to eat that jab all night from Mendez.
Less than 30 seconds left. Good right hand there landed for Montoya. Probably his best punch landed so far. So I'm going to say a little bit of a feeling out round, but both these guys also willing to step forward and put a little power into what they have, especially here at the very end. This is a good final 10 seconds out of the fighters.
Nice
Enjoyed
flurry.
that.
It was a really good flurry at the end of that round, and I was impressed with Mendez throwing a lot of straight punches. Didn't open up with a lot of hooks or anything like that, but his jabs and his right hands were landing really well.
Yeah, his number 2 punch, straight down the middle, exactly what every coach begs for. So very nicely done. So if you're in the corner of Montoya, what's your advice for him in between rounds?
I like to see just a little bit more aggression out of him, get that jab working a little bit, try to keep Mendez off of his base. If you look at the replay here, he's just kind of backing up the entire time. Mendez is starting to throw some big hooks at the end, but primarily straight punches most of that round. So I'd like to just see a few straight punches out of Montoya, and he kept trying to get inside and land those body shots. I'd like to see him set that up with maybe a big right straight hand and then come to the body after that.
Yeah, I agree. Although with that having been said, I mean, we're asking for straight shots. The punch of his that landed the best was a right hook. So.
Yes, it was.
Round 2, away we go.
Right back out to the center is Mendez, looking to establish control right off the bat again, pumping out a few jabs. Nice little kind of a uppercut hook by Montoya there.
Almost immediately you can see it's sort of like both these guys have tasted the power of the other and they're not afraid to just stand and trade now. We got a good dose of that at the final 10 seconds of round number 1. Both of them landed hard, neither able to hurt the other, so maybe we're going to see them slinging a little harder leather here because they, quote-unquote, don't have the respect for their opponent's power.
Yeah, and that was another big left hand by Montoya, and that's true. A lot of times it takes that first big shot to land for a fighter to go, oh, yeah, I can take that. That's not a problem, and then they do. They sit there and trade a little bit more, like you said.
Yeah, all of a sudden, basically, what it goes through your brain, that was his best punch, and I'm okay.
Yep, exactly.
So it really helps loosen up the flow a bit. And the counterpuncher, again, being the aggressor.
Yeah, I
wonder if that was a little gamesmanship on his part.
Definitely could have been. I'm kind of impressed. Montoya's footwork, I really like it. He's switching from orthodox to southpaw and back, really trying to switch up his footwork, but Mendez hasn't been really thrown off guard by it yet.
Yeah, Mendez seems to be one of those fighters, I have a game plan and I'm going to stick to it and you're not going to be able to take me out of it. Ooh, Montoya, nice job with the uppercut. Listen to his corner. They were asking for it. Well-coached fighter, able to hear the instructions and immediately find a place for them.
Now here's the time where I'd like to see Montoya try to open up with some hooks. Mendez being, I don't want to say disrespectful, but not really respecting the range or the power of Montoya right now, so his hands are down kind of in front of him. If you can get kind of that leaping hook into there, might land really well for Montoya.
Agreed, and bit of a stare down. I always kind of laugh at that when they're like, I'm going to try to look at you real tough. Well,
yeah, you guys are already fighting. It's good.
Yeah, got a chance to come punch me in the face here. We can go ahead and settle this. See what we bring up on the replay. It was a good final 10 seconds again of that round, and again, that's something every coach asks for. They beg for you that when you hear that 10-second clack or throw your flurry, get your hands moving, and both these guys have done that. And just a little bit of off-balanced footwork there by Mendez allowed Montoya to get in and land a couple of nice shots.
Yep, and there was that big uppercut by Montoya right there. Landed really well, but Mendez seemingly unfazed. Now that's something that most fighters are good at. They could also be actors. We're all good at acting like we're not hurt when we are.
Little touch of the gloves for some sportsmanship, and off we go to round number 3. And it has been fairly even fight so far. So, I'd expect probably both these guys, their corners were in their ears saying, hey, we're in a close match here. Go out here and try and put a stamp on things.
This fight could easily be 1-1 right now. And Mendez is looking to throw that stepping forward left overhand. And that's a big punch, a punch that can really land really hard, especially when you switch your feet into orthodox while you're doing it. Kind of hesitated there, so didn't get to get it fired off.
Went to the body. It was right on the belt line, and he had already been warned for a low blow, so Mendez needs to be careful of the placement of his punches here. Be a real shame to lose a point this late in the fight in a fight that's real close.
Got a minute left in the fight right now. Again, he went to step forward with that big overhand and just kind of hesitated for a second. It allowed Mendez to slip out of range.
There's a good right hand. We hadn't seen that since round number 1 from Mendez. It shows up again late in the third. And I think Montoya was hurt a little bit because he's sort of like, oh, I felt that. I need to get it back. A little bit of urgency out of Montoya now. I like it.
Big left hand.
Big left. Yes, sir. Nicely done. Heard that body shot from Montoya.
Mendez has taken a lot of power off his punches right now. He may be still a little dazed, just trying to land some pepper shots to make sure he doesn't give anything up on the scorecards, but I think he's a little bit out of it at the moment.
These guys stood toe-to-toe at the end of rounds 1 and 2. Let's see if they give it to us here in the third. And there's the bell. Little jawing back and forth, but I think it was, quote-unquote good-natured.
Yep. Both fighters awfully excited.
Yeah.
It was a great final round. I think the difference in this fight is going to be the pressure put on from Mendez, especially consistently in the first and the third. I'm probably going to lean towards Mendez, probably 2 rounds to 1 on this fight. JR, what do you think?
I agree absolutely. I think it was his continuous forward motion. Montoya, if we had to pick 1 or 2 punches that landed the hardest, I think Montoya probably had those. But I think the accumulation of the time controlling the ring is probably going to go to Mendez. And we're checking out the replay here in the third. It's right there at the end of the fight. These guys really knew how to put it out there at the end of each round. I love that. Coaches are always happy with that for sure. Got 10 more fights on the card for you this evening. We thank everybody for joining us here this evening. Jeffco Fairgrounds. No real need for the fighters to warm up in the back because it is hot in this building tonight.
We have the aptly named Summer Heat Series going on, and I think I see what they did when they named that.
I see what you did there. Big Mo's waiting for the judges' scorecards. He can let us know the official word.
A good first fight on the card, and after watching our last card that we had that was put on by Airtight and Sparta Combat League, this card has a lot to live up to. Fight number 1 did not disappoint.
How entertaining was that last show? My goodness.
Got the fighters in the center. Looks like they're just about ready to give the final referee's decision.
Except the referee doesn't make the decision, the judges do. But, semantics.
I'm going to have to, I got nothing. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Ramirez scores it 29-28, Mendez. Judge Short scores it 29-28, Montoya. And Judge Kugler scores it 29-28, declaring your winner by split decision, Angel Mendez.
Congratulations, Mr. Mendez. We will step away for a second, get a word from our sponsors, then Mr. Mendez will get a post-fight winner's interview with Miss Bailey Winters.
I'm here with your first win of the night, Angel Mendez. Angel, you had a tough opponent tonight, but you fought very smartly. You were pressuring forward. It seemed like that was what kind of helped you win this fight tonight. What was your game plan going in?
Bother him with the jab, and if something opened up, go for it, but just try to stay on the outside and jab my way out if needed.
It was a split decision in the end. What do you think was the deciding factor that got you the victory?
Probably the fact that I was the attacker for most of the fight. Other than that, I think it was pretty fair, pretty even.
You had a great performance tonight. What can we expect next from you?
An even better one.